true for the Y.
Hey, welcome back. We're talking about subculture people who develop emotional sexual relationships with life-size dolls. We just saw a video from David's self-made documentary, All Dolled Up. Mike, I mean, Dr. Mike, help me out here. What is this about?
Well, this is a diagnosis called doll fetishism, which is a kind of paraphilia. Now, there are over 500 kinds of paraphilias. What's interesting is, of course, we almost always see it in men. Now, men have more testosterone. Testosterone is that hormone that makes you really want to have sex. But, you know, to sort of help the audience understand that, you know, I want to say that I sort of do a version of this, too, and I think most of us do. You know, my dog, Rocco, I talk to him in English all day long. You know, how many of you do that? How many
of you have a dog named Rocco?
A dog named Rocco.
Oh, a dog.
Yes.
Okay.
I do not have a dog. I thought you said dog.
Did you think
that's a whole different show?
I'm like, Dr. Mike, what? You got a dog too?
But, you know, how many of you in the audience are pet owners?
Yeah. So,
how many of you talk to your dog or your cat in English, even though you know that they don't speak English, right?
Yeah. So, I'm convinced my dog does speak English.
Well, maybe yours does. But we all have a piece of this, you know, but then it goes to the next level. So then, how many of us have sexual fantasies about something? Well, you can have it in your head, or for some people, they want to take it to the next level. So that's what this is really about.
And it's not a disorder, is it?
Well, it is a diagnosable disorder, but only if it is causing distress to you or the people around you, or it's causing harm to somebody.
And Dave, as you said, you did this documentary, so you've interviewed a lot of people in this subculture. Dave's actually on his way to a convention for doll lovers in Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we have some video Dave's kind of shot a video for us documenting his trip down. Let's take a look.
Well, we're all packed. We're headed to Hershey, Pennsylvania to meet with fellow enthusiasts. Well, we're 5 hours in. We've covered 548 miles across the border, and Bianca's not complaining about the speeds I'm driving. I think we're going to stop for a little bite. Girls aren't hungry, so I'm just going to leave them in the car. Matter of fact, they're still sleeping, I guess. Oh, well, we just arrived just past Portland. Bianca took the last shift here. She did pretty good. Here we are, 18 hours later, New York City, the Big Apple. Girls are all happy, and we're going to check in the hotel.
Dave, what goes on at these conventions? I mean, I'm not sure I want to know all the details, but I mean, what are these conventions like?
We do photography. We get to see different types of dolls. It's sort of like a car meet, your classic car meet.
Right.
You get all the different cars, you go to see them, and you go to share the, you know, what's it like, what's that kind of doll like, what's this like. What's your question?
Well, the guest seems like the life of the party or real fun person. I was wondering if you'd have separation anxiety if someone were to take these dolls away from you.
I have separation anxiety from my wife right now, but not from the dolls. And yes, I would feel some anxiety here. And in actual fact, when I did my documentary, I had a chance to sell a teddy babe, which was a little stuffed one. So I stored it in the roof rack. And I felt guilty for putting it in the roof rack. I then had a chance to sell it. And I was going to let it go when I hit Chicago. And this is what maybe you could tell me. I actually felt so guilty about parting with that doll that I decided I couldn't sell it.
And those become sort of a transitional object. So one theory of why people develop this, Anderson, is, you know, many of us have blankies or teddy bears. Well, sometimes they can go even a little bit further than that, and it continues into adulthood. So there are some theorists that believe that this is sort of the next step of that transitional object from childhood.
Interesting. Well, David, listen, I appreciate you being on. We had some weirdness earlier on the show, and I appreciate the realness. Well, no, this pales by comparison, to be honest, and oddly enough. But I appreciate the genuineness of your answers, and I feel like I learned a little bit more about something which I didn't really know anything about, and it's certainly easy to kind of make fun of and dismiss, but it's interesting to hear your perspective on it. So I appreciate you being here, and Dr. Mike Dow. So much good to have you on. To see Dr. Mike's list of the top 10 most interesting fixations you may not have heard of, go to AndersonCooper.com. Coming up, legendary country stars Clint Black and Lisa Hartman are here. Stay tuned.